We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Seneca. When does silence finally make them miss you for real? Not that fleeting moment when they're just bored and scrolling through their phone. Not the shallow, I wonder what they're up to kind of missing. I'm talking about that deep, soul-stirring, pride-shattering kind of missing. The kind that hits when the world gets quiet and there's nothing left but the echo of your absence. That's what we're uncovering today, folks. But before we dive into this powerful journey, do me a favor. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and stay with me, because what we're about to explore could flip the whole story they're telling themselves upside down. Now let's set the stage. Picture this, my friends. Imagine a grand old library, rows upon rows of dusty books stretching into infinity. The kind of place where time feels like it slows down and the silence wraps around you like a heavy cloak. There's something about that quiet, right? At first it feels peaceful, but the longer you sit in it, the louder your thoughts become. That's what happens with silence. It doesn't shout, it waits. It's not the noise that gets them, it's the weight of what isn't said. And when you stop showing up, no messages, no calls, no likes, no reactions, your silence starts echoing in places they didn't know existed. But here's the lie people love to believe, that silence only works if they immediately miss you. That the second you go quiet, they'll come running back. Not true, not even close. The truth, my friends, is that silence is like planting a seed in the darkest soil. Nothing happens on the surface at first. They might even feel relief in those early days. Freedom, like a bird flying from a cage, stretching its wings, feeling the breeze. But here's where it gets fun. Even birds get tired of flying when there's nowhere safe to land. That's when your silence starts working, not on their ego, but on their soul. Because silence isn't empty, it's full of presence. And here's where Stoicism teaches us something powerful. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength." That's what your silence does. It speaks of strength, not weakness. You're not playing games. You're showing them that you don't chase what doesn't value you. You're not out here begging for breadcrumbs of attention while they serve the whole loaf to someone else. You've got bigger things to build. And that realization, it creeps up on them like shadows stretching across the floor as the sun sets. Slowly, unstoppably. Now don't get me wrong, folks. Silence can feel uncomfortable at first. For both of you, it's like standing in the middle of an empty theater after the play ends, the lights dim, and all that remains is the echo of what once filled the room. But that echo, it grows. It starts to haunt the places where your voice used to be. It's in the quiet moments, the early mornings, the sleepless nights, the song on shuffle. That's when they feel it. When they realize that you're not just gone, you're unreachable. This is why I say, don't rush to break the silence. Don't tap the glass just to see if they're still there. Stay steady. Stay calm. Remember, the oak tree doesn't grow overnight, but when it does, it stands taller than anything that tried to cut it down. That's you, my friends. Steady, rooted, unshaken. So here's my challenge to you. Hold your ground. Let them come face to face with the absence they thought they could handle. And when they realize what they've lost, it won't be because you yelled. It'll be because you said nothing at all. Now drop this in the comments below. I am the calm. Write it loud, write it proud. And if this message stirred something inside you, if it reminded you of your worth, your power, press that like button and subscribe. Stay with me, because we're just getting started. Number 1, the first quiet days, they feel relief, not regret, yet. We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Seneca. This is where it begins, my friends, the first days of silence. And here's where it doesn't happen the way most people think. This isn't the part where they start missing you with that deep, aching regret. No. In fact, the truth stings a bit. They feel relief. The weight lifts off their shoulders, the tension dissolves, and they might even feel free. And I know what you might be thinking. How could they? After everything we shared, after all the moments, the connection. But this is the raw truth. In those first quiet days, they're not missing you. They're escaping the noise. Imagine a rubber band stretched tight between two fingers. Pull it far enough, long enough, and when you finally let go, that snap feels good. That's what those first days feel like for them. The release, the freedom. But here's where it gets interesting. Freedom without direction, it turns into wandering. And wandering leads to reflection. But right now, in these first days, they convince themselves they needed this. We both need space. It's better this way. These thoughts race through their mind as a form of protection, a shield from the deeper truth that they're too afraid to face. Because facing it means admitting they might have walked away from something real, something grounding. And that's a hard pill to swallow, so they tell themselves the easy lie, that you were part of the problem, that the tension was because of you, not them, and they cling to that idea at first. This is the hardest part for you, isn't it? Watching from a distance, sitting in your own silence, wondering, do they even care? Did I mean anything? But let me break this lie for you right now. Their relief isn't a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of their need to escape discomfort. People mistake tension for toxicity all the time. But the discomfort they feel, it wasn't you. It was the reflection you held up to them, the parts of themselves they didn't want to face. Right now, they might feel like they're soaring, like a bird finally freed from a cage. But here's the thing about flying. They still need a place to land, and it won't take long before that open sky feels too big, too empty. Right now, though, they'll distract themselves. Friends, work, social media, maybe even someone new. But distractions don't fill the void. They just cover it. Like painting over a crack in the wall, pretending it's not there. And you? You sit in the silence, doubting yourself, tempted to reach out, tempted to break the quiet just to know they're feeling something. But that's where you hold strong, because the real power of silence isn't in the first few days. It's in what comes next. Remember what Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This silence isn't an obstacle, it's the path. The path where you grow stronger, where you reclaim your energy. It's uncomfortable, yes. But it's shaping you into someone who doesn't need to chase reassurance. Someone who knows their worth doesn't depend on someone else's immediate reaction. Right now, they feel relief because they think they've stepped into peace. But what they don't realize yet is that peace isn't just the absence of conflict. It's the presence of alignment. And they won't feel that for long. Because when the distractions fade, when the sky grows dark and the world gets quiet again, that's when your silence will start to echo. But not yet. And that's okay. So hold steady. Sit with the silence like a mountain stands against the wind. Let them feel that space you've created, not as a punishment, but as proof of your strength. The first days are for their relief. The coming days, those are for reflection. If you're holding that silence right now, I want you to own it. Drop this in the comments below. I am the mountain. Say it loud. Say it for yourself. Show them. Show the world around you. Because you are the grounded presence they didn't know they needed until it was gone. And stay with me, folks. Because what happens after this? That's where the real shift begins. That's where the missing starts to seep in. We're just getting warmed up. Number 2, the ripple begins. Your silence makes space for their reflection. The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength. Marcus Aurelius. Silence doesn't hit all at once. It builds. It spreads like ripples across still water. At first, those ripples seem small, easy to ignore, easy to brush off. But give them time, and they reach every corner. This is when your silence starts to shift the energy, not through force, but through presence. You see, after those initial days of relief, the days where they're feeling light, free, maybe even a little smug about how well they're doing without you, the ripple starts. It's subtle, almost unnoticeable at first. Maybe they wake up one morning, grab their phone out of habit, and realize there's no notification from you. Maybe they catch themselves about to send you that funny meme, only to remember you're not there anymore. And that space, that empty little pause, that's the ripple working its way through. But here's the kicker. They'll fight it. Oh, they'll fight it hard. Because reflection, it's uncomfortable. It forces them to look inward, to confront the gaps that your absence exposes. And most folks aren't ready for that. They'd rather scroll, distract, keep the noise loud enough so they don't have to hear the echo of their own thoughts. But you've removed yourself from that equation. You're not feeding the noise. You're not jumping back in to offer comfort, to smooth things over, to remind them that you're still there, waiting in the wings. No, you've chosen silence. And silence is patient. It waits until the distractions fade, until the world slows down, until they're left sitting in that quiet space you used to fill. Imagine a pond after a stone has been tossed in. The ripples seem small, almost insignificant, but they keep moving. Outward, always outward. And eventually, they touch the shore. That's what your silence does. It touches places in them they didn't expect to feel. It starts to peel back the layers of distraction and bravado. The ripple begins in the moments they least expect. A random evening when plans fall through. A long commute with too much time to think. That quiet moment before sleep when the world goes dark and all they have left are their thoughts. And here's the lie they'll tell themselves. I'm fine. I don't need them. But what they don't realize yet is that it's not about need. It's about presence. Your presence. The way you showed up, not begging for attention, not demanding anything, but steady, consistent, reliable. And that's what the ripple brings back to them, the memory of what they once had and what they can't replace. But here's where your strength shines. Most people crack here. They feel the ripple starting, they sense the shift in the air, and they jump back in. They break the silence just to check if they're still remembered. But not you. You know better. Because Marcus Aurelius said it best. Waste no more time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one. And that's what you're doing. You're not arguing. You're not explaining. You're being. You're standing tall in your silence, letting the ripple do its work. It's not easy. I know that. The temptation to reach out, to remind them of what they're missing, to make sure they haven't forgotten, it can feel like a storm inside. But storms don't last. Mountains do. And you, my friends, are the mountain in this story. So while they sit with that ripple, let them wander. Let them feel the space where you used to be. Not because you want to punish them, but because you respect yourself enough not to fill the void for them. You've handed them the gift of reflection, whether they realize it or not. This is where real strength begins. In the pause, in the waiting, in the refusal to chase what isn't meeting you where you stand. Because the ripple, it's just getting started. And soon enough, those small waves will turn into something they can't ignore. Drop this in the comments, my friends. I am the ripple. Let the world know. Show them. Show yourself. You are the presence that moves beneath the surface, steady and unstoppable. And stay with me, because what happens next? That's when their routine starts to feel the weight of your absence. That's when missing turns into something they can't outrun. We're building momentum. Don't go anywhere. Number 3, routine turns into restlessness. The comfort of you is missing. He who is brave is free. Seneca. Here's where the ripple you've created with your silence starts to seep into their everyday life. This is the stage where routine, once a comfort, becomes restlessness. At first, they didn't feel it. They carried on like everything was normal. Wake up, scroll the phone, work, distract, sleep, repeat. But now, something feels off, and they can't quite put their finger on it. Because, folks, here's the thing about routines. They're like background music. You don't notice it when it's playing, but the second it stops, the silence feels deafening. And you were that music. The comforting hum in the backdrop of their life. The good morning text. The shared meme. The inside joke that popped up at the right moment. The way you laughed at the same show, commented on the same post, reacted to the same nonsense that only the two of you understood. All those little things. They built a rhythm they never thought would stop, until you did. Now they reach for their phone out of habit, expecting a notification, a like, a comment, something, and there's nothing. It's like going to your favorite coffee shop, walking up to the counter, ready to order, and the place is closed, shuttered, dark inside. That moment of pause, that awkward space where they realize, oh, it's not here anymore. That's what your silence feels like. But let me break the lie they tell themselves here. I'm fine. I'm just busy. I don't need anyone. No, my friends. It's not about needing someone. It's about missing the rhythm, the connection, the feeling of being seen. They don't miss you out of desperation. They miss you because your presence filled spaces they didn't even realize were empty. Until now. It sneaks up on them, doesn't it? Like walking through a familiar room in the dark and reaching for a light switch that's no longer there. Their day feels just a bit colder. The jokes don't land the same. The stories they share with others feel hollow, because no one else fit into that rhythm the way you did. And that, folks, is where the restlessness begins. You see, people crave consistency. They crave the familiar. It's wired into us. And you provided that without even trying. You didn't flood them with attention. You weren't loud. You weren't desperate. You were just there, solid, calm, reliable. And now that you're gone, the silence of your absence screams. But here's where your power sharpens. Most people rush back in. They sense the shift. They feel the pull, and they cave. They reach out. They send the meme, the check-in text, the casual, hey, just thinking of you. But you don't. You hold the line. Because you understand what Marcus Aurelius meant when he said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. And your thoughts, they're focused on growth, not chasing. On peace, not persuasion. It's not easy. Oh, I know it's not. The silence feels heavy sometimes. You wonder if they even notice, if they've already replaced you, if your absence even registers. But here's the truth. They feel it, whether they admit it or not, because silence doesn't hit all at once. It creeps in slowly, like water filling the cracks. And their routine, it's full of cracks now. Maybe they try to fill it, another conversation, another distraction, another face. But no one fits the same way, because it wasn't just what you did, it was who you were. calm, present, steady. And now that steady presence is missing, the cracks are widening. This is your moment to stay grounded, to stay unmoved. Because the storm they feel inside, that's their battle now, not yours. You've chosen to stand tall, to be the oak tree that doesn't bend to every gust of wind. And that, my friends, is freedom. So if you're feeling that pull, that urge to check in, to remind them of your presence, remember this. The comfort of you is what they're missing now, not the drama, not the noise, but you, your energy, your essence. And the more you hold steady, the clearer that becomes. I want you to own that. Drop this in the comments below. I am the rhythm. Because you are. You're the steady beat they didn't realize kept everything in tune. And now that it's gone, the silence is playing louder than ever. Stay with me, folks, because next, we'll talk about the moment their ego starts to fight back, and that's when things really get interesting. Stick around. Number 4, the ego fights back. They distract themselves, but it doesn't last. It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. Marcus Aurelius. Here's where it gets tricky, folks. This is the phase where their ego starts to claw back control, because that restlessness creeping in, that uncomfortable pause when they feel your absence in their daily rhythm. Their ego isn't going to just sit there and let that happen. No, it's going to fight hard. And it fights in the way it knows best, distraction. This is when they start filling the silence with anything they can get their hands on. Friends, parties, social media, maybe even someone new. That's right. The ego doesn't care about depth, it cares about winning. And if winning means distracting itself with noise, attention, validation, so be it. So don't be surprised, my friends, if during this phase you catch wind that they're out there laughing louder, posting more, maybe even cozying up to someone else. That's ego at work. But here's the lie that needs breaking wide open. If they've moved on this fast, they never cared. That's not true. That's ego in survival mode. They're not moving on, they're avoiding. Avoiding the growing weight of reflection, avoiding the cracks forming beneath the surface. They're patching holes with duct tape, pretending the boat's not sinking. But it is, slowly, quietly. Imagine a wall with cracks running through it. Instead of fixing the foundation, they just slap on some fresh paint, hang up a new picture, distract the eye. But the cracks, they're still there, widening. And eventually, that wall, it's coming down. That's what their ego is doing right now, patching over the cracks, trying to prove to themselves and maybe the world that they're unfazed. But inside, the ripples you created are still spreading. And here's where your strength is tested, my friends. Because seeing them out there, putting on the show, acting unbothered, that can sting. It can make you doubt everything, make you question if the silence is working at all. But remember this, the loudest person in the room is often the one struggling the most. That noise, that's ego's desperate attempt to avoid the stillness. Because stillness is where the truth lives. Stay grounded, stay calm. You're not here to compete with their distractions. You're not in a race to prove who's moved on faster. You've chosen a different path, the Stoic path, the one that understands Marcus Aurelius's wisdom. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Their egos fight? That's part of the process. It's the resistance before the surrender, the chaos before the clarity. Because here's what happens, folks. The distractions don't last. The new people, the parties, the noise, it's temporary. Like drinking salt water when you're thirsty, it might feel satisfying for a moment, but it only makes things worse. That's what they're doing. Trying to quench a thirst that only your presence truly satisfied. And when the distractions fade, and they will fade, what's left? The silence, the stillness, the reflection they've been avoiding, and it hits harder because they tried to outrun it. They thought they could patch the cracks, drown out the ripple, silence the echo of your absence. But it doesn't work that way. The truth? You can't distract yourself from what's inside, and what's inside them now is a growing realization that you weren't just part of their life, you were steady ground beneath their feet. And now that ground is gone, they're left standing on shaky soil. So here's your moment to rise even higher, to stand firm. While their ego fights, while they distract, you're building, you're leveling up. Not out of spite, but out of love for yourself, out of respect for your peace. While they're trying to prove something to the world, you're proving something to yourself, that you can hold your ground even when the storm rages. Drop this in the comments below. I am unshaken. Let the world know. Let them know. Let yourself know. You are not here to fight ego with ego. You are the calm in the storm, the mountain in the wind. And that's unbreakable. Stay with me, my friends, because the distractions may be loud now, but the emotional triggers, the memories they can't escape, those are coming next. And when they hit, there's no running from them. Stick around. This story is just heating up. Number 5. Emotional triggers hit harder. Memories surface uninvited. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. This is where the distractions start to lose their grip, where the noise they've surrounded themselves with begins to fade, and the silence you've held steady in. It finally breaks through. And not with words, not with action, but with memories. Emotional triggers, folks. That's what hits hardest, and it always strikes when they least expect it. It could be anything. A song that comes on shuffle, the one that played on that road trip you took together. A scent that floats by, a familiar cologne, the smell of rain, the soap they used to borrow from you. A random place. A quiet coffee shop tucked away on a side street where you once sat, laughing about something that doesn't even feel funny anymore because it's tied to you. And that's the thing about emotional triggers. They don't ask permission. They bypass the ego entirely. They skip past the walls they've built, the distractions they've piled up, and they go straight to the heart, straight to the place where your presence once lived. And when those memories hit, they don't just bring back an image of you, they bring back the feeling of you, the safety, the calm, the way the air felt lighter when you were around. Right now, they're trying to run from those feelings, distract, avoid, paint over the cracks. But the emotional triggers, they're like whispers that turn into shouts. They pop up at random, in the quiet moments when they're not prepared. Late at night, early in the morning, on a random Tuesday afternoon when everything feels just a little too still. And suddenly, you're there, without even being there. Let's break another lie they might be telling themselves. It's just nostalgia. No, my friends. Nostalgia is a sweet ache, a soft glance backward. This question mark. This is different. This is the realization that the connection they had with you wasn't just routine. It wasn't just about time spent. It was about how you made them feel in the spaces between the moments. The feeling of being seen, heard, grounded. And when that feeling resurfaces through a song, a place, a scent, it's not nostalgia, it's longing. And here's the part where Stoicism gives you your edge. Epictetus said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." They can't choose when these memories surface. They can't control the triggers. But you've chosen your response. You've chosen to remain still, grounded, unshaken, and that's silence. It's louder now because of the emotional weight behind it. Imagine a dam holding back water. At first, The cracks are small. The pressure builds quietly, almost invisibly. But when it bursts, there's no stopping it. That's what these emotional triggers are doing. They're building pressure behind the dam of their ego. And when it breaks, that's when the flood of realization comes rushing in. But you don't need to lift a finger. You don't need to post a thing, send a message, or show up in their life. Because you're already there, living in the spaces they tried to forget. And the more you stay silent, the more your presence expands. And this is the hard part, isn't it? Knowing that they're feeling it, even if they won't admit it. Even if they're still putting on a show, pretending like they've moved on. But here's what you need to remember. The show is for the world. The triggers, they're for them alone. And in those quiet moments, they're realizing that no distraction, no new person, no amount of noise can replace the feeling you brought. So here's your power move, my friends. Stay still. Let the memories do their work. Let the emotional triggers hit as they will, because they will. You don't need to rush the process. You don't need to force the reflection. Silence, combined with time and emotional weight, is a force all its own. Drop this in the comments below. I am unforgettable. Say it, believe it, own it. Because you are. You didn't try to leave a mark, but you did. Not through chasing, not through noise, but through presence. And that's the kind of presence that lingers. Stay with me, folks, because what comes next, that's when the void becomes a mirror, and that reflection is something they can't escape. Stick around. The journey gets even deeper from here. Number 6. The void becomes a mirror. They see what they've lost. Man conquers the world by conquering himself. Now, my friends, this is where the game shifts. This is where the void you've left behind stops feeling like space and starts becoming something far more powerful. A mirror, a reflection they can't escape. At first, the absence feels like freedom to them, doesn't it? Like they've stretched their wings, like they've escaped the weight of what they thought was holding them down. But as the days turn into weeks, as the emotional triggers sneak in, that void starts to change. It's no longer just the absence of your messages, your attention, your steady presence. It becomes a reflection of who they are without you. And here's the brutal truth. That reflection, it doesn't always look good. They begin to see the version of themselves that they're left with when your calm, steady energy is gone. They see the cracks, the insecurities, the restless searching for validation that no one else seems to satisfy. And suddenly, they realize it wasn't just you that made the connection feel safe. It was who they became around you. Imagine walking past a mirror in a dimly lit room. Most of the time, you don't even notice your reflection, but when the light hits just right, you catch a glimpse, and what you see can't be unseen. That's what this void becomes, not a dark, empty space, but a spotlight on the truth. This is where the ego crumbles, not all at once. It puts up a fight, remember? But slowly, as the mirror reflects back their choices, their patterns, the person they've become since you've stepped away, they start to feel it. The regret, the loss, not just of you, but of the version of themselves they liked better when they were with you. Let's break a lie wide open right here. If they're thriving without me, I must not have mattered. No, my friends. What you're seeing on the surface, the curated posts, the smiles, the distractions, that's not the reflection they're facing in the quiet. That's for the world. But in their private moments, when they stare into that mirror of your absence, they see the difference. They feel the weight. Because you didn't just offer them attention, you offered consistency. You offered depth. You held space for them, not by fixing, not by performing, but by simply being grounded. You showed them a version of themselves they felt safe enough to be, and now that version is gone. And here's where Stoicism gives you your edge. You've conquered yourself. You've faced the silence without crumbling. You've stood in your own reflection and grown stronger. That's what Zeno meant when he said, "Man conquers the world by conquering himself." You've done that. You've taken the void and turned it into a space for your own growth. Meanwhile, they're just beginning to face the mirror you left behind. And this is where the power shifts even further. They thought the distance would give them control, that they'd feel lighter, freer, unburdened. But now they see, it's not just the space that feels empty, it's them. Because without you, there's no reflection of their higher self, no one holding space for their softest parts, their dreams, their laughter. It's not about loneliness, it's about clarity. They're starting to see clearly what they took for granted, and that kind of realization, it lingers, it grows. But you don't need to remind them. You don't need to post a thing, prove a thing, or show up waving a flag saying, "Look at what you lost." The mirror does that for you, quietly, relentlessly. And this is why you stay steady, why you let the mirror do its work. You've given them something rare, a reflection of what they could be with you and what they are without you. And that contrast, it cuts deeper than any words ever could. So, my friends, I want you to own this moment. Drop this in the comments below. I am the mirror. Say it for yourself. Say it for the journey you've walked, because you are. You've reflected back the best in them, and now, in your absence, that mirror shines brighter than ever. Stay with me, because what's coming next, that's when your glow-up shifts the power completely, and they realize they're no longer looking at the same person they thought they knew. Stick around, folks. This ride isn't over. Number 7. Your glow-up shifts the power. They see you've moved on. Waste no more time arguing what a good person should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius. Now, my friends, this is the twist they never saw coming. This is the moment where your glow-up, the silent, steady transformation you've been working on behind the scenes, starts to speak louder than any words ever could. And it's not just about what you're doing, it's about who you're becoming. At first, they're not paying much attention. They're too wrapped up in their own distractions, trying to quiet the echoes of your absence. But then, they see you. Maybe it's a mutual friend mentioning your name. Maybe it's a subtle glimpse through social media, or maybe it's just the energy you carry when you walk into a room. But suddenly, there you are, and you're not the same person who used to orbit their world. You've changed. You've leveled up. And it's not about the surface level stuff. Though sure, maybe you've hit the gym. Maybe you've sharpened your style. Maybe you've embraced that glow that comes from real self-care. But the real shift? It's deeper. It's in your energy, the calm in your eyes, the steady way you move, the quiet confidence that says, "I'm good, with or without you." And that hits harder than any comeback text ever could. Because here's the thing, they expected you to stay stuck. They thought you'd linger in the background, quietly waiting, watching, hoping for a breadcrumb of attention. They thought you'd be where they left you. But instead, you've been building, growing, elevating, not for them, but for you. Let's break another lie right here. If I don't show them, they won't know I've changed. No, my friends, energy speaks louder than posts. You don't need to throw your growth in their face. You don't need to announce your wins. Your presence, the way you carry yourself, says everything. Imagine this. They stumble across a photo of you. Maybe it's you out with friends, smiling, really smiling, not posing for effect. Maybe it's you engaged in something new, hiking, traveling, building something bigger than yourself. And that image, it stops them, because it's not just a picture, it's a mirror reflecting back their own stagnation. They're still chasing distractions, still painting over cracks, while you're thriving in silence. This is where the power shifts. The same way the earth turns without asking permission, you've shifted the dynamic, not by force, but by becoming unavailable in the best way possible. Emotionally, mentally, spiritually. You've aligned yourself with something greater, your own peace. And here's where Stoicism teaches you the ultimate lesson. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice. You don't get even, you get better. You don't fight to prove your worth, you become your worth. And that's exactly what you've done. And now, they feel it. The sting, the regret. Not just because they lost you, but because they lost the version of you that was accessible. The version that cared more than they did. That version is gone, not with bitterness, but with grace. But you're not here to gloat. You're not here to seek validation from the person who couldn't see your worth before. You've outgrown that. You're too busy building, too busy becoming. And that's the ultimate power move. You've turned your focus inward, and the result, it shines outward. And here's the magic. They can feel the boundary now. Even through a screen, even across a room, they know you're not where they left you. You're standing taller, walking lighter, smiling deeper. And that realization, it hurts. Because they thought they had time. They thought they could come back whenever, that you'd be waiting. But now, you've moved on. So, my friends, I want you to own this glow-up. Drop this in the comments. I've leveled up. Say it. Show it. Let the world know that your growth doesn't need applause. It's steady, it's silent, and it's unmistakable. Stay with me, because what's coming next? That's when the door they once walked through so easily finally closes, and they realize they can't access you anymore. And that's when they miss you for real. Stick around. We're not done yet. Number 8. The door they took for granted is now closed. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Marcus Aurelius. This is it, my friends. The moment they never believed would come. The moment when the door closes, not with a slam, not with rage, not with fireworks, but with the quiet, undeniable weight of finality. And here's the thing. They never thought that door would close. They thought it would always be there, cracked open, waiting, a soft place to land if their distractions wore thin or if their curiosity got the best of them. But now, that door is closed. And not just physically, it's locked from the inside. At first, they don't believe it. They test the handle in small ways. A casual message, "Hey, how have you been?" Maybe they react to one of your posts, leave a breadcrumb, test the waters to see if the old rhythm still exists. They think, surely you'll respond the way you always did. Surely they still have access. But nothing. You're not cold, you're not angry, you're just unavailable. And that, my friends, is what breaks them. Because they never imagined you'd be the one to shut the door. They were so certain that the emotional key was theirs to hold forever, that they could pop back in, stir the pot, reignite the connection whenever they felt like it. But now, they're standing on the other side of that closed door, knocking, and there's no answer. That's what your silence has built, not a wall, not a fortress, but a boundary, a clear, unwavering line in the sand that says, I choose my peace. And let's break this lie wide open. If I close the door, they'll think I don't care. No, my friends. Closing the door isn't about not caring. It's about caring more about yourself. It's about knowing that anyone who truly valued the space they had with you wouldn't have tested it in the first place. They wouldn't have gambled with your presence. And now, the gamble didn't pay off. They lost, and they know it. But here's the thing. You don't need to say a word. You don't need to post a long speech about how you've grown, how you've moved on, how they missed their chance. Your absence says it all. The door is closed, and it's not closing out of anger, it's closing out of evolution. You've outgrown the need for their validation. You've stepped into a space where your peace comes first, and that door, it's just a symbol of the boundary you've built within yourself. Imagine a garden, lush and growing, protected by a simple gate. You used to leave that gate wide open, trusting that whoever wandered in would respect the space, appreciate the beauty, nurture the growth. But now, you've learned. You've realized that not everyone deserves access. Not everyone knows how to tend to something that valuable. So, you've closed the gate, not locked it forever, but secure enough that only those who truly respect what's inside can ever be allowed back. And here's where Stoicism shines. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." And your thoughts, they're colored with growth, with clarity, with strength. You've become someone who no longer allows confusion to enter your space. Someone who no longer entertains the same patterns, the same cycles, the same breadcrumbs. And that's what they're feeling now, the realization that the old you is gone. That the version of you who once waited, hoped, or even tolerated half-hearted effort, that version has been replaced. And they don't have the key anymore. They're standing outside a door they thought they could always walk through, but now, the handle doesn't turn. The familiar welcome isn't there. They feel it, in the pit of their stomach. The regret, the loss. But you're thriving. You're not pacing behind that door, wondering if they'll knock. You're building your garden. You're focused on your peace, your growth, your future. And that's the ultimate power move. Because you're not punishing them. You're protecting yourself. You're choosing yourself without apology. So, I want you to own this moment. Drop this in the comments. My door is closed. Say it. Feel it. Let the world know that your peace is sacred now. That not everyone gets to walk back into your space just because they suddenly realize what they lost. So, as we wrap this up, remember, the power of your silence isn't just in what you withhold, but in who you become while holding it. When you close that door with grace, not anger, you send a message louder than words. You've outgrown the need for validation. Let them feel the weight of that absence. Now, I want to hear from you. Drop "My silence speaks volumes" in the comments if this resonated with you. And if you found value today, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs this reminder. Stay grounded, stay powerful.